Welcome back. You're watching Nation Tonight. Now, Indian women's cricket team captain Harmanpreet Kaur has been handed a 2-match ban by the International Cricket Council following her outburst during the third and final ODI against Bangladesh in Dhaka. The incident occurred on July 24, 2023, when Kaur expressed her dissatisfaction with an umpiring decision by smashing her bat on the stumps and gesturing in protest towards the umpire, Tanveer Ahmed. Now, this conduct has led to her being the first woman cricketer to be found guilty of a level 2 breach of the ICC's Code of Conduct, which governs player behaviour.
Well, I think a lot of learning from this game, even apart from cricket, the type of umpiring was happening there. We were very surprised. But I think, the next time whenever we are coming to Bangladesh, we'll make sure, we have to deal with this type of umpiring. And, accordingly, we have to prepare ourselves. Some pathetic umpiring was done and really disappointed about some decisions given by the umpires.
To take this conversation further, I'm being joined in by Vedam Jaishankar, sports journalist, as well as Rahul Mehra, who's a sports activist and a lawyer. Good evening to the both of you. Thank you very much for taking the time out and speaking to us on Mirror Now. Rahul, coming to you first, let me just begin by asking, in your opinion, was this called for?
Well, first of all, I think everybody needs to denounce the way the captain of the Indian cricket team, Harmanpreet, has reacted to a situation which might not be of her own making, but nevertheless, when you're leading a team and when you're an ambassador of country of sorts, because cricket being so popular, you need to take the such kind of blows, in a more sporting manner. Having said that, I think it's more for the BCCI to look at. BCCI being the richest cricketing board and in some ways determines, what goes on in the world of cricket. Why is it that there are 5 absences in the women cricket team and women cricket matches, despite the fact that they are the richest cricketing board, which has a revenue of $15 billion as of today, income of $10 billion, and a brand net worth of $2 billion. So there is no dearth of money. So why is it that these 5 things are not there? No DRS for women cricket, international cricket, no ball, tracking technology, no snickometer, no super over to decide a game such as a tie like this. And more importantly, and the most important thing out of all these, no neutral umpires. I mean, which world are we living in? Why do you have all Bangladeshi umpires while the match between India and Bangladesh is going on? And why can't we, ICC, look into the aspect that, they need to ensure that even women cricket can't be treated in a stepmotherly treatment like this. And women cricket is no less than men cricket. If you want to equate and have a single board, BCCI, for both men and women, why is it that Indian Cricket Board is allowing a tournament to happen? We should protest and we should boycott these tournaments if you can't afford a neutral umpire. When you are more than $15 billion, you are earning as income from the game of cricket. I mean, where is all this money being spent? What is being done? And why is women cricket being treated like this? So, somebody asked me the question earlier, should Harmanpreet Kaur be suspended or obviously she's been suspended. Should she be asked to step down from captaincy? I think the person who needs to step down from the administration of Indian cricket, BCCI, is the cricketer who's the president, Mr. Roger Binney. And Jay Shah probably knows nothing about cricket, but because of his lineage, he's there and powers that he's there. They are the 2 people who need to take it on their chin and who need to answer to the world of cricket as to why something like this has been allowed. Why is it that in today's day and age, despite all the money in your kitty, you are allowing something like this to prosper and to for players to suffer the consequence of it and the country to suffer the consequence of it?
All right, Rahul, let me take that point across to Vedam Jaishankar. Vedam, is that how you also read into this situation? Do you think that the BCCI is equally responsible for the fact that, of course, the BCCI is one of the richest cricket boards of the world? And to your point that Rahul has said, let me ask you further about the captaincy sacking, if that's something that we want to see as well.
Hi, yeah, I would like to see that happen because, she's supposed to lead a team and, she's representing not just herself, she's representing her state, she's representing the game and she's representing India. And what she has done during the match and after the match, it's absolutely shameful. Look, any sportsman, and she must have played for more than 20 years. Any sportsman or must know how to handle these ups and downs, the disappointments, the bad decisions. It also goes with the good decisions. Sometimes the decisions go in your favor, sometimes it doesn't. But this is not the way to handle it. I would agree with Rahul on more than a couple of points. You know, when Sunil Gavaskar tried to walk off with his entire team in Australia, there was a manager to stop him. So if she had, in the heat of the moment, she has behaved poorly, but after the match, I mean, it couldn't have carried on. There should have been a tough coach or a tough manager who would have said, look, stop this. It's done. It's done and dusted. Let's not waste our time on this. But the problem is women's cricket, if you notice, if you follow it for the last 10 years or so, they have actually bullied the BCCI. You know, they have virtually thrown out coaches. They've had coaches whom they need. So the BCCI is also to blame for much of this. Harmanpreet Kaur itself, if you look at her background and the way she has handled things, I think in 2017 there was a case where she threw a helmet and she copped some sort of a fine. There were doubts about the authenticity of her degree, and I'm not sure if she was downgraded in the Punjab police because of that. I remember at that time there was talk that she would be moved down from a DSP to some other level. And she had lots of fights with Mithali Raj, with Diana Edulji. So there is a flaw there. And I think the BCCI, when it appoints somebody, it has to ensure that it appoints the right person. And even here, it's not the BCCI which has taken action. If the BCCI had taken action immediately, I could have understood it. This is the ICC actually forcing you to take an action. The BCCI should actually strip her of captaincy because she's not really worth, at this stage, is not worth it. You don't do this. You know, you have a reputation to lose. Indian cricket has a reputation to lose, and continuing with somebody who does these things on and off the field in the full glare of television is absolutely no go. We saw even in the emerging men's team matches, India versus Pakistan, there were a couple of atrocious decisions. And I agree with Rahul, when you have these kind of matches and big matches and whatever you want to call it, you must have the DRS system. You must have a referral system. If you don't have a referral system, we have seen what happened earlier in Ranji Trophy. And now even Ranji Trophy, Dilip Trophy, there is a referral system. And that must be moved on even to international cricket, whether it is emerging players cricket or women's cricket or under-19 cricket. We have to have it. The technology is available. We have the money. So what is the hesitancy to use it? You had Bangladesh umpires. Let's say I don't want to cast aspersions on the umpires, but let's say the home umpires, you don't really trust them. So have the DRS. It's good even for the home team. The home team also will know that when it's won, it has won it fair and square. Now, this is a shame, both for the home team and for the Indian team. Indian team, because of the way the captain reacted, and she made a mess of the whole thing. The home team always, did they win square? Did they win it fair? That question will always be asked. But yes, I agree that the BCCI has to be pulled up in this.
Right, the spirit of the game comes into context once again. But let me take a point across from what you just said to Rahul. Rahul, do you think this is a bigger embarrassment for the BCCI? Because like the way Vedam did point out, it's the ICC, putting this action first. It's not the BCCI which has done it. And also, as you answer that, I want to ask you a follow-up question in terms of the fact that we're talking about the captain leading from the front. So not a very ideal way to be setting an example.
So let me take your second question first and then the first one later. See, as far as the captaincy is concerned, obviously this is not the way you handle things. And if things go wrong, that's when your mettle really counts. I'll give you a kind of a simile in men's cricket. Virat Kohli had the worst of temperaments. Virat Kohli would snap, like a child. Virat Kohli would abuse people on the field, would pick up fights. But look at the way he changed himself. Look at the way when BCCI came heavy on him, he realized that he's a man with a phenomenal skill set. Nobody can beat him with his cricketing skills, and that's what the revelation and the complete transformation of the man. And the man has become from an ordinary cricketer to a legend today, to be reckoned with. I think somebody needs to have a word with the great cricketer that Harmanpreet is. I think she will learn a lot out of this incident. Obviously, somebody will speak up to her. She will reflect on it. I'm sure she'll come out as a stronger person. But I still believe, and taking your first question now, I still believe it's not the ICC or the BCCI, whether ICC blinked first or whether BCCI is going to do something later. Who will address the situation, the elephant in the room? The elephant in the room is the BCCI itself. BCCI ought to ensure that no Indian cricket team participates unless and until ICC puts his house in order. And you protest. And when the largest cricketing board protests, the powers that be in the world of cricket will listen. So you ensure there is a DRS, you ensure there are referrals, you ensure there are ball tracking systems, you ensure there is a snickometer, you ensure there is a super over, you ensure that the cricket has a level playing field and same rules and principles are followed both for men's cricket and women's cricket. Who will actually reign in BCCI?
On that note, Rahul, I'm afraid I'll have to interject because we're also running out of time. But I want to thank you as well as Vedam for joining us here on Nation Tonight and helping us, of course, better understand this development from the world of sports. But for the moment, we leave it at that. Thank you very much for your time once again. Shifting focus.